Good afternoon, friends. Teresa from Star Stylist Homestead. So today I'm going to be making bacon wrapped pork chops because one pork meal isn't enough. You got to wrap it. I had bacon out for the last few days and I said, yeah, but I got pork chops out. Why not? So I decided to try it. So I've got that all done, but I'm also doing a bacon cheese potato. So I have everything prepped. I've done my pork chops. Other than this last one, I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, I've got paprika, garlic powder, salt and pepper. About a teaspoon of each. Then my bacon. These were extra pieces, so I'm just going to lay it on top of the thin piece here. And then I'm just wrapping my pork chops like this. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to bring you over here to show you what I've got. And I'll explain the bacon in a minute. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay this right here. My oven is on 350 because I don't want the bacon done that much faster than the pork chop. Okay, but I want them all crispy too. This is going to go with my potatoes. So I'm going to stick this in the oven because this is going to take a little bit longer. And I'm going to set this on 30 minutes while I'm getting the rest of my stuff done. Let me wash my hands and get this. For my potatoes, I took 3 russet potatoes, okay? I cut them into smaller bite-sized pieces. All right, I just rinsed them all off and everything. I have my pan over here. I have olive oil in it. I am gonna sprinkle this with olive oil, probably a tablespoon or so. Okay, and then my spices. I'm gonna tell you what's in my spices because I mixed it all together. I have a tablespoon of dry ranch seasoning, my olive oil. I have a tablespoon of parsley. I have a half a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and like a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. I am going to put this all over this. Then I'm going to get my garlic. Have my garlic. This calls for 2 tablespoons. I only did half, so I'm only going to do 1. I'll stick that right in there. Then I'm going to mix this all up. Get it nice and coated. You can use your hands if you want. And the reason I made them so small is because I want them to cook right with my dinner, because this is going to go on the bottom rack and I'll just keep an eye on them. Oops, get back in there. Okay, there we have it. Once these are cooked, then we're going to add the cheese and the bacon. So I did my pan with olive oil because I don't want them to stick. So let's spread that all around and then dump it right in there. I'm going to get all that goodness right out of the bowl. Spread them around. Make sure they have room to breathe. I've never done this recipe. I seen it on, somebody posted on Facebook or something. So I went into it, you know, it was one of the quickie ones. And I said, that looks pretty good. So, why not with pork chops? All right, now I'm gonna, I am gonna cover it so that the steam cooks it. Okay, the steam will cook those potatoes for me. And I will bring you back for the next step. All right, we're back. I just took these potatoes out of the oven, 20 minutes with them covered. Now I'm just going to take, I don't know, tablespoon and a half butter. Put it over the top. I stirred them around in here just to make sure they weren't sticking. And then I'm going to stick them back in the oven uncovered while my bacon is still cooking in there. Put another one right there. All right, back in the oven. I have them on the bottom rack there. That's okay. I actually think I'm going to turn this oven up. Bake 400 to 400. Just to get that bacon going, and the pork chops have been in there for about 25 minutes anyway. So I got it on 400 now. The potatoes will probably be done right about the same time. I'm going to add the cheese and stuff to it. Put it back in, just let it melt. That takes no time at all. So dinner should all be together, ready at the same time, because I'm going to take the pork chops out and let them sit for about 5-10 minutes. So it'll be perfect. I'll be back. This is done. So the potatoes are. My bacon, on the other hand, is not. So I'm going to change up this recipe just a tad. Let's bring you down here. Those potatoes are perfect. So it was 20 and 20. And they smell so good. So I have Colby Jack Cheese. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to put the cheese first. I would put the cheese and then the bacon on top, which I'm still going to. But it's going to be a little different. So I'm going to put these. Yeah, my hands are clean. You put as much cheese as you want on there. I like cheese. I'm just going to use the rest of this cheese, as a matter of fact. Calls for a couple cups. 1.5 to 2 cups. Then I have my bacon crumbles. It's real bacon. So I am just going to put this over the top. And then I'm going to put this back in the oven. Let that cheese melt and that bacon, those bacon pieces get nice and warm. And then this is done. So, back in the oven. Look at those. I like my bacon crispier. So, just so that the bacon on each one of these, hot, is crispy top and bottom. So, that's what I'm going to do. This one oh no, I did wrap it. Yeah, we're going to do this. The pork chops are done. But just so that that bacon gets crispy, and I'm going to put those back in the oven now. All right, you see how it is. Those are only going to be in there for another few minutes. Those pork chops were about 38 minutes. It's got 2 more minutes. I'm going to just wait till that bacon crisps up a little bit. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put my oven on 425 now. Only because that's what I need to do my biscuits on. So for the last 2 minutes, it'll bring that up. I'll take them all out, and when I'm all done, I'll bring you back. All right, my friends, it's done. Look at this. Let me show you. Look at those potatoes and the pork chops. Don't those look good? I'm going to just put it on a little plate while my biscuits are in the oven, because my piece has got to be done. And I only used 3 pieces of that bacon. Let's see. I'll do my little piece here. and taste it. And we'll get a couple of these potatoes with the bacon. I layered these potatoes on this plate, but only because they had the bacon bits in it. And then I just chunked up all the other bacon and put it right on top. So let's try it. Gotta have a piece of bacon with the pork chop. I'm not a huge pork person, but I like that the bacon gave the pork a nicer taste, because pork really doesn't have that much of a taste. It's whatever you put on it. And I did my spices on there. That's not bad. My piece is a little dry because it was just the two end pieces and I had it in there all that time. So, but those were at a perfect temperature. Let's try these potatoes with the bacon. That oven is warming it up in here. Those are really good. And my friends, those were super easy. I cut them up into the smaller pieces so that it didn't take so long to cook, and that worked out perfect because they're done perfect. Those pork chops are going to just sit there for a few minutes for the guys. By the time I get all of this on the plates, the biscuits will be done. And I did add, I'll let you know later, I added some honey into the butter drop biscuits just to see how those came out this time, because it calls for a little sugar. And I also changed my recipe up and put an extra teaspoon of salt in there because it just didn't seem like there was enough salt. So there's 2 teaspoons of salt in those. I'll leave the recipe down below. Phenomenal. Or I'll leave the link to it below for the video. Best biscuits you'll ever make. Anybody who's ever tried them from my video that has told me, said they'll never go back to the biscuits because they're so good. So anyway, and they're so easy. You couldn't get any easier than that. You don't have to worry about the size of whatever. Let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to put you down here so you can see in the, you see in that pan? They're all dumped right in that pan. And you make the marks like cut marks into it. Anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my dinner. And you guys, if you like and subscribe if you haven't already. You guys have a great night. Like I said earlier, I'm getting ready to, unless I edit it out, getting ready to do some bacon for Thanksgiving because my little sister's coming and my niece. So I'll see you then. Ciao for now, my friends.